It has been since 2010 that the Hutchinson Community College Baseball team last went to the JUCO World Series in Grand Junction, Colorado. The 2019 version of the Blue Dragons begins their trek today as they open the postseason in Game 1 of the best-of-3 Region 6 tournament opening round series against the Labette Cardinals from Hobart-Detter Field. It is time for Hutchinson Community College Baseball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Steve Carpenter with you on a cloudy afternoon, and over just to our immediate left, the Arkansas River running almost bank full. I can swing the camera over, give you a quick look at the river as it looks. That is about the second highest I've ever seen that river in my 23 some odd years here in the Salt City. Almost 6 inches of rain over the week, but the field crew. What? But the field crew did a great job, led by Toby Corneo, to get this field ready. We were delayed today, but now we get set for action. 1 today and possibly 2 tomorrow. This is the best-of-3 series with the 8 winners going on to Wichita. This will be the third time that Hutchinson and Labette have met in the opening round series. The first time in 2006, the second time a couple of years ago in 2017. Both of those series went by way of the Blue Dragons in 2-game sweeps, but that is obviously ancient history. The Blue Dragons, the number 1 overall seed in the Region 6 tournament. They come in with a record of 38-18. Co-champs of the Jayhawk West with the Butler Grizzlies, but based on the sweep of Colby, that was the major tiebreaker. And the Blue Dragons get that get the tiebreaker and the number 1 overall seed. That makes Labette the number 8 overall seed. They are 8th place out of the Jayhawk East. And they will battle with a record of 16-28. These two teams weren't supposed to meet in the regular season, but because of all the weather issues early on this year, it became necessary to pick up games. And Hutchinson and Labette met in late February on a neutral site game in Pittsburgh. Hutchinson winning both of those games 18-2 and 7-1. But again, two totally different teams since then. Building up. Labette playing much better baseball right now. Those games in late February were Labette's first 2 games of the year. The Blue Dragons had, I believe, 6 under their belt. So they have come a long way. They have the Blue Dragons going 18-4 in their last 22 games. And they take on the Labette Cardinals here this afternoon. Again, 1 single game today, 9 innings. Game 2 will be tomorrow, and the third game, if needed, in this series will be played 30 minutes after the conclusion of game number 1. Your starting pitchers this afternoon, freshman lefty Jake Bunz with his 8-1 record takes the mound for Hutchinson. He'll be opposed by right-hander Graham Jordan. A sophomore, he is 1-5 with a 9.40 ERA. The umpires are getting set to take the field. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the starting lineups. This is Blue Dragon Baseball. Five of the 8 series get going today because of all the rain. We'll get into all that. 2 series started yesterday. Barton has a 1-0 lead over Kansas City. on Kansas City's home field, and Johnson County, the number 4 overall seed, defeated Garden City yesterday to take a 1-0 lead in that series. So Barton and Johnson will be going for series sweeps today. We'll get into all that. We have plenty of information to pass along this afternoon, and only one game to get it in, so we'll pass a ton of information your way this afternoon. Let's get to the starting lineups for Game 1 between the Blue Dragons and the Cardinals. First for Labette, and head coach Aaron Keel in his 20th year, 16-28 overall. Landon Lord will lead it off for the Cardinals and play shortstop. Josh Praley bats second. He is in left field. Batting third will be the catcher, Drew White. Justin Perez is the third baseman. He bats fourth. Batting fifth for Labette will be the designated hitter, Evan Jacoby. Tate Saldana bats sixth. He will be in right field. Rustin Postier bats seventh. Postier will be at first base. Second baseman Abner DeJesus bats eighth for the Cardinals. Batting ninth and playing center field will be Dante Federico. Sophomore Graham Jordan gets the start. He's making his eighth start of the season for Aaron Kill. 1-5 record and a 9.40 earned run average. So Labette lines up Lord, Fraley, and White. Perez, Jacoby, Saldana. Postier, DeJesus, Federico, and Graham Jordan on the mound. For the Blue Dragons, 38-18 overall for seventh-year head coach Ryan Schmidt, who just finished off his third Jayhawk West Championship campaign in his 7 years with the Blue Dragons. Sophomore Logan Sartori will lead it off and play shortstop. Batting second will be the third baseman, Dylan Nedved. Batting third, the designated hitter, and the conference's leading home run hitter, Zane Schmidt. Batting cleanup and playing left field will be Riley Metzger. Batting fifth, playing first base, will be Zach Baxley. Zion Bolin brings a 10-game hitting streak into this one. He bats sixth and plays right field. Ryan Moritz bats seventh. He'll play second today. Max McGuire gets to start behind the plate. He bats eighth. And center fielder Will Reitz bats ninth for the Dragons. Left-handed freshman Jake Buns brings an 8-1 record and a 3.52 earned run average into this afternoon's game. He'll be the starter for Hutchinson. Coming off a missed start last week against Clown. He had a little bit of arm discomfort, but he's got the green light to go. So Ryan Schmidt's Blue Dragons will be Sartori, Nedved, Schmidt, Metzger, Baxley, Bolin, Moritz, McGuire, Reitz, and Jake Buns on the mound. Again, game one today, only one game. Hopefully the weather will hold off and tonight, and we will be back here again tomorrow at 1 for game number 2. We'll be on the air at 12:45. And if there is a third game to be needed, that will be 30 minutes after the conclusion of game number 2. And again, we'll have that broadcast for you on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Season's kind of winding down. Softball is completed. Track and golf head to their national tournaments starting next week. So the Blue Dragon baseball team, really the last one of the spring sports to start the postseason. And they go in with high hopes. 38 wins for the Blue Dragons coming into this one. Hutchinson's won at least 30 games in a season 26 times. And if they are able to get up to 2 wins in this series, they will reach 40 wins for the 9th time in team history. Blue Dragons coming in, leading the Jayhawk Conference in home runs with 76. That is 5th most in Blue Dragon history. Hutchinson hitting .306 as a team. Labette, their offensive numbers usually have been second division numbers in terms of packing the entire Jayhawk together, which the league does in terms of statistics. Labette, 17th in the league in team batting average at .276. They've hit 24 home runs. Their team ERA, let me flip the page here. Their team ERA is 7.37. That is 17th in the league. They're 18th in fielding percentage, 15th in strikeouts in terms of pitching. The Blue Dragon pitching staff, number 1 in the Jayhawk, number 4 in the country. This team has already racked up a school record 551 strikeouts in terms of the pitchers. So the Dragons have a lot of numbers to talk about, but biggest one of all, they are 7-0 in these postseason games when winning game one, so it's a very important game to get under their belt. It's about time for the national anthem from Hobart-Detter Field. We'll return with the first pitch. This is Blue Dragon Baseball. Our umpires this afternoon: at third base, Todd Segwig; at first base, Sam Schartz; and working the plate, one of the better ones around the state of Kansas, Jay Sanderson. Those are your umpires this afternoon. And Jake Bunds out of Omaha, Nebraska, the big 6'5", 240-pound left-handed freshman, taking his warm-up tosses. Jake making his 10th start of the year, 13th overall appearance. He is 8-1. He has one shutout and part of a combined other. One complete game, a 3.52 earned run average. 53 2/3 innings pitched for Bunds. Again, he missed one start with some arm discomfort, but Ryan Hilty and Amanda Beadle and the sports medicine staff at Hutchinson Community College gave him the green light to go today. Bunds 45 hits, 27 runs allowed, 21 of those earned. A 4-1 strikeout to walk ratio, 80 strikeouts, only 19 walks, and opponents hitting .227 against. His last time out, Jake had kind of a rough outing that on April 25th at Colby. A game the Blue Dragons rallied to win 8-4. He picked up the win, but went 5 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs. He struck out 7 and walked 2. So here we go. The postseason's upon us. The Blue Dragons and the Cardinals. Game number 1 from Hobart-Detter Field. Thanks for joining us on the Blue Dragons Sports Network. Landon Lord lead it off for the Blue Dragons, and Jake Bunds misses inside, ball 1. First pitch dead on at 1 o'clock. Outside, ball 2. Landon Lord, a .327 hitter, 51 total hits, 16 doubles, 4 home runs, 20 driven in. He's scored 34 runs. Ball 3. Lord's walked 12 times this year. He was 3 for 5 with a home run against the Blue Dragons back in February. And it's a 4-pitch walk. And you had to wonder if Jake Bunds wasn't going to show a little bit of rust missing his last start. So he gives up a leadoff walk to Landon Lord, and that'll bring up Josh Praley, the left fielder. Praley, a .299 hitter on the year. Bunds misses low, and it's 5 straight out of the zone to start. 2 home runs, 13 RBIs for Praley. Lord with 9 steals and 10 attempts at first. Here's the pitch. Fastball over but low, 2-0. So Jake struggling right out of the chute with his command. Here's the pitch. Braley shows bunt, pulls back and takes a strike at the letters. You see he was taking all the way. Count now 2-1. Buns did not throw either game against Labette in February. There's a bunt right back to Buns. He bobbles. Only play will be to first. And the sacrifice works 1-3. Lord the second with one out. And that'll bring up Labette's best hitter in catcher Drew White. Third in the Jayhawk Conference in hitting at .429. White has 8 home runs, 39 RBIs. He's fourth in the league with 18 doubles. 63 total hits. That's a team high for the Cardinals. Runner at first, one away, just underway here in Hutch. Swing and a miss. That was more of the lively fastball we've become accustomed from Jake Buns. Fastball change, curveball. Buns' 3 main pitches. An imposing 6'5" frame, the 0-1. High and outside, count evens, a ball on a strike. Again, Buns missed last week with some tightness in his forearm, not in a joint, just in a muscle mass. So Ryan Schmidt decided to give him the Cloud Series off. And Blue Dragons got through it just fine. Got the number 1 overall seed. The pitch, high fastball, swung through and missed, and it's 1-2. Before that start against Colby on April 25th, Buns allowed absolutely no runs through a streak of 14 1/3 innings over spanning 4 appearances. Did he go around? Yes, he did. That's a strikeout, and there's 2 away. White strikes out for out number 2, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter in third baseman Justin Perez. Perez hitting .226 for the season, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs, 26 hits. That includes 6 doubles. He scored 19 runs. Buns was on a tear late March, early April. That pitch way high and outside. Nice stop by Max McGuire. That kept the runner Lord at second base. Very quickly defensively for Hutchinson. Around the outfield, left to right. Riley Metzger in left. Will Reitz in center. Zion Boland in right. Dylan Nedved at third base. Logan Sartori at short. Ryan Moritz at second. Zach Baxley at first. Max McGuire behind the plate. The 1-0 pitch from Buns is a changeup that misses low, 2-0. On deck is the designated hitter, Evan Jacoby. Buns with the base open at first. Behind in the count to the cleanup hitter, Perez. The 2-0. Challenged him, and Perez swung and missed for a strike, 2-1. Since the Region 6 went to this particular format for postseason, we'll get into more of this later. This is the 4th overall meeting between Hutch and Labette in the postseason. The pitch, changeup misses low, 3-1. They met in 2006. The Dragons swept here at Hobart-Detter Field. And 2 years ago, these two teams got together. Dragons dominated game number 1, but they had to fight for game number 2, winning that one 8-7 before advancing to Wichita. We'll get into the historical stuff as the afternoon rolls on. Here's a 3-1 from Buns, low ball 4. 2 walks in the inning. They sandwich 2 outs. And now it'll be the designated hitter for Labette, Evan Jacoby. Jacoby hitting .333. Hasn't had a ton of at-bats this year. This is only his 18th. Ryan Schmidt going out to talk to his pitcher. Jacoby, 6 out of 18, 2 doubles, a triple, 5 RBIs. Jacoby also serves as a member of the Cardinal pitching staff. Jay Sanderson's going to go out and break up the meeting. Right now, this is 1-on-1, and guarantee you Ryan Schmidt is challenging Jake Buns to finish off the left-handed hitting Jacoby. Buns against left-handed batters. They're only just 6 for 33, 182 average. Buns giving up a 236 average to right-handed batters. Overall, a 227 batting average against. Infield deep at all four positions. Outfield straight away and toward the middle. That one gets through the glove of McGuire, and everybody's going to move up. It'll be a pass ball charge to Max. That was not in the dirt. So Lord moves up to third. Perez to second. So 2 walks and a pass ball. Already, people started heading down toward the Blue Dragon bullpen. The 1-0. In the dirt again. This one, McGuire stops and keeps it in front of him. 2-0. I imagine Jake's going to be on a short leash, and that Brian Schmidt's coming out to talk to Jay Sanderson. There may be something wrong with Jake. We were likely going to have a pitching change here. Jake just doesn't look very comfortable whatsoever in throwing. So usually when you want to make an injury substitution, you'll go to the home plate umpire first. This won't be a charged trip. So Ryan's going to talk to Jake as Jay Sanderson right there. Last 2 pitches have been low. And we are going to have a pitching change. So Jake Buns is done. The pitcher just starting to loosen up. L.J. McDonough is going to get all the time he wants on the mound to warm up. We're going to take a break and return with more. Top of the first, no score. This is Blue Dragon Baseball. L.J. McDonough out of Blanchard, Oklahoma, who has had his stock rise mightily over the last 3 weeks of the season, takes over for an injured Jake Buns, who leaves after 2/3 of an inning. He's allowed 2 walks, but Ryan Schmidt saw something and immediately took Jake out of the game. The numbers on LJ, on for the 13th time, 9th out of the bullpen. A 1-3 record with a 5.47 earned run average. He has 1 save. 24 2/3 innings pitched, 24 hits allowed, 20 runs. He has struck out 42, walked 19, and opponents hitting 253 against. But his last 3 outings, actually go back to his last 5 outings, which spans 13 innings. LJ has given up just 2 runs and only 1 of those earned. He had a 10 strikeout performance in a 17-11 10-inning victory for the Blue Dragons in Game 4 at Seward County. Struck out 10 on that afternoon in 4 2/3 innings, allowed just 3 hits and 1 walk on an afternoon that was not made for pitching. So because it's a 2-0 count, if McDonough happens to walk the batter, Jacoby. That walk would be charged to Buns, but anything else happens is charged to LJ. Just one of those little statistical anomalies that you have in baseball. McDonough pitched in the 6-2 loss in the season finale last Saturday at McPherson against Cloud County. The Dragons lost that game 6-2. LJ went 3 2/3, allowed an unearned run and 1 hit, struck out 7 and walked 1. McDonough did not see action against Labette the first time. So it's runners at second and third. Lord walked. Moved up to second on the Perez walk with 2 outs, and then they moved up on the pass ball charge to McGuire. Now it's a 2-0 count to Jacoby. So now we'll see who actually gets charged as batter. Right now the Dragons just want to get out of the inning and get the offense up, kind of get resettled after this lengthy delay. Now McDonough to work. There's the 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses in, ball 3. First base is open. Tate Saldana on the right fielder is on deck. Here's the cripple from McDonough. Low ball 4. So the walk will actually be charged to Buns. Now right fielder Tate Saldana with the bases loaded. Saldana, a 275 hitter, home run, 12 RBIs. Saldana did not play against the Blue Dragons in February. There's a good fastball from McDonough, strike called. Bases full of Cardinals to start the pitch, slowing away, 1-1. McDonough was slated to be one of the weekend starters this year. And all kinds of control issues. His first 2 times out were 4 walks each against Coffeyville in Northeast Texas. He's battled through those and has pitched very good his last 5 times out. 1-1. Strike at the knees, a fastball, 1-2 now to Saldana. This is the 1-16 matchup. You don't want to give the 16 team any kind of momentum. A couple of years ago, we saw Independence come in here and give Hutchinson 4 in a 3-game set. 1-2 pitch, curveball, misses high. 2-2. Over his last 4 outings, McDonough has 22 strikeouts over 11 and a third innings. 2-2 pitch. Pitch way outside, a ball, full count, so no room for him. Lord at third, Perez at second, Jacoby at first, 2 outs, 3-2. The runners will be moving on the pitch. McDonough needs to make a quality pitch right here. McDonough comes set. The runners go, the payoff. Ground ball up the first base line, fielded by Baxley. He'll win the race to the bag, and the inning is over. So L.J. McDonough comes on for an injured Jake Buns, gets a big third out, and leaves the bag loaded. Cardinals get no runs, no hits, leave 3. And after a half, it's the Cardinals nothing and the Blue Dragons coming up. try to check on the condition of Jake Buns for you. He left after 2/3 of an inning with an apparent arm injury. L.J. McDonough came in and slammed the door with the bases loaded on the Cardinals. And now Hutchinson gets their first look at sophomore right-hander Graham Jordan. Jordan, 6'2", 190-pounder from Maumelle, Arkansas. 1-5 record with a 9.40 earned run average, making his 8th start, 13th appearance. 43 1/3 innings pitched, 60 hits allowed, 58 runs. He has struck out 37 and walked 29. Faces a Blue Dragon lineup and is hitting .306 as a team. And Logan Sartori goes first pitch, hacking and pops one up. Out of play to the right, Logan Sartori, a .318 hitter. 62 total hits, 10 home runs, 56 RBIs. There's the 0-1, breaking pitch inside for a ball. Sartori third in the JA Conference in runs scored with 64. Slices that one foul off into the parking lot. It's 1-2. Sartori's 56 RBIs are 6th in the league. 3 different Blue Dragons are in the league's top 10 in RBIs. Nedved and Zane Schmidt are the others. 1-2 pitch. Soft roller up the middle, caught by the second baseman DeJesus. He throws on to first, 1 away. Logan got jammed. He just got over the glove of Jordan, the pitcher. But DeJesus ranges to his right while charging and throws out Sartori for out number 1. Here's Dylan Nedved. Nedved earlier this week named the National Pitcher of the Week for his win and save in the Cloud County Series that got the Blue Dragons a share of the Jayhawk West title. He takes high and tight from Jordan for ball 1 to start this at bat. Nedved now second on the team, or third on the team, and hitting at .328, 9 home runs, 60 RBIs. Coming off a 3-for-4 game with a double and a triple against Cloud County in the 6-2 loss. Here's the 2-0. Hit to right field down the line. This could be trouble. It's fair ball and into the corner. Extra bases for Nedved. Saldana gets to it. Nedved will stop there. Jamel Cervantes puts the brakes on. And Dylan Nedved gets his 13th double of the year. He's there with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Nice opposite field single, or double for Nedved. He hit it right on the screws. Now Zane Schmidt. He is in the top 10 of multiple offensive categories in the Jayhawk. Team high .394 average, 20 home runs, 64 RBIs, 15 doubles, 5 triples, 80 hits for the freshman from Kearney. The pitch. A little bit outside, ball 1. Zane Schmidt leads the league in home runs, second in RBIs, first in extra base hits with 40. Third in total hits, 8th in batting average, tied for third in triples. He's having an MVP-type season, pitch high and outside from Graham, and it's ball 2. Blue Dragon commencement tonight at the Sports Arena. Sounds like a few of the Blue Dragon players who are sophomores are going to get cleaned up and get over to the arena and walk tonight. That'd be a neat deal. Pitch outside. Normally, the Blue Dragons are in Wichita, and they never get a chance to walk at graduation. But with the change in schedule in 2019, the possibilities there for some of the guys to walk tonight. Here's the 3-0 from Jordan to Schmidt. That might have been an unintentional intentional. There wasn't a pitch around the zone for Schmidt to even offer at. So it's a 1-out walk. Dragons have runners at first and second for sophomore Riley Metzger. Riles second on the team, a .358 average, 7 home runs, 47 RBIs. He has 57 total hits, 13 doubles. Metzger had a big game against Labette back in February. Off speed taken for strike one on the outer half. In Hutchinson's 18-2 win, Metzger went 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs scored. That is a high water mark for RBIs for Metzger this season. Breaking pitch outside, 1-1. Riley with only 4 hits in his last 6 games. That came off a 7-game hitting streak. Here's the pitch. Checked his swing on a fastball away, and it's 2-1. Metzger in the series against Labette back in February was 2 for 6, 3 runs and 4 RBIs. He went over in game number 2. Ball 3 to Riley, 3-1. So he's in the driver's seat. Runners at first and second. Nedved doubled the opposite way to the right field corner, and Zane Schmidt walked. Here's Graham Jordan's 3-1 to the Dragon cleanup hitter. That's a strike. Full count. Riley was ready to chuck the bat. And now he'll face a full count pitch. Well, Jamel Cervantes put the runners in motion. Doubtful. A shade in the infield. Metzger to pull. Straight away in the outfield. Here's the payoff. Runners don't go. And Metzger goes around on the pitch. Couldn't check his swing. That's a strikeout. A big strikeout for Graham. And there's 2 away. Now it's going to take a 2-out hit from Zach Baxley. He's one of the 2 Dragons struggling the most. Bax's average has dipped to 287. Over his last 8 games, Zach just 3 for 27, a 111 batting average. Hasn't driven in a run in the last 6 games. And he rolls this one foul outside of third toward the Dragon dugout. Bax is in just one of those stretches where he's chasing everything. Baxley 49 total hits, 4 home runs, 30 driven in. Jordan comes set and delivers. Breaking pitch inside for a ball, 1-1. Labette loaded the bases in the first. That benefit of a hit came away scoreless. Dragons have 2 on and 2 out here in the bottom of the first. The pitch. Good location. Back swings through it. It's 1-2. Pitch is right in on the hands. So great location from Graham Jordan. And now he's ahead in the count on Baxley, 1-2. Every game in the postseason is scheduled for 9 innings. Run rule goes into effect after 7, with the exception of the championship games in Wichita. Bluff moved to second by Jordan and chases Nedved back. Time called. We'll try to keep up to date with you on all the other action around the region. Series starting in 7 of the 8. 2 of them started yesterday. 5 more get started today. 1 doesn't start till tomorrow. The pitch in the dirt. Good scoop by Drew White. Now it's 2-2 to Baxley. It's become a 21-pitch inning for Graham Jordan. Labette looking to advance to Wichita for the first time since this format was instituted in 2004. The pitch. Called strike 3. A breaking pitch to the letters. And the inning is over. No runs, a hit, 2 left for the Blue Dragons. After 1, no score. No score through one. Both teams had scoring opportunities, but couldn't push anything across. And now L.J. McDonough took over for Jake Buns, who was injured in the first inning. He gets the bottom third of the Cardinal order. Stepping in is Rustin Postier, the first baseman. He swings and misses at that offering. Postier hitting .279, a couple of home runs, 16 driven in. 31 total hits. Called strike outside corner at the knees, and it's 0-2. Labette has not had a big postseason history to pitch outside, with the exceptions of 2010, 11, and 12. This is only the fourth time in this format that Labette has qualified pitch upstairs 2-2. From 2004 2000 to 2009, and from 2013 on, it was eight best of three series. The 8 winners go on to Wichita. The pitch, strike him out, one away. Postier goes down on strikes. First strikeout for McDonough, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Abner DeJesus. DeJesus hitting .220, 13 total hits, 1 double, 6 RBIs. Hitting from the right side, the pitch. High fastball, swung through and missed. 2010, they changed the format to 4 4-team sub-regionals, and then those 4 winners went to Wichita. But in the years that is this format, big breaking pitch outside for McDonough, and it is 1-1. Labette has qualified in only 2006, 2015, 2017, and this year. Good fastball at the knees, a strike 1-2. They qualified in 2006, came here to Hobart-Detter Field, and were swept 1-0 and 12-2 in 7 innings. That 1-0 game, the pitch. Curveball just misses the outside corner. Blue Dragon Quarterback Club Hall of Famer Thad Weber tossed a 3-hit shutout that lasted a 9-inning game, 1 hour and 42 minutes. Called strike 3 outside corner, 2 away. And then the Dragons went on to run rule that one. 2015, 2015, the Cardinals went to Dodge City and were swept. And 2 years ago, the Dragons won 13-3 and held on for dear life to sweep the Cardinals 8-7. That pitch missed upstairs to Dante Federico, the center fielder. There's the 1-0. Swung on and missed, 1-1. Federico hitting .268, 3 doubles, a triple, 11 RBIs, 26 hits. Now 2-1. Aaron killing his 20th season in the third base box. That pitch outside, 3-1. The Dragons and Cardinals did meet in the other format, an elimination game in the 2011 Liberal Sub-Regional. The Dragons won that one 9-1 in 7 innings. The pitch, called strike, full count. Here's the 3-2. And on the hands, foul back. Foul ball's back that way. That's probably may get lost in the river as high as it is. Once again, the 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. It's a 1-2-3 strikeout the side inning for L.J. McDonough. We go to the bottom of the second. Dragons nothing. Cardinals nothing. As gifted as the Blue Dragon offense has been throughout 2019, their last 5 games, including this one, just haven't been all that productive. Ryan Schmidt recognized that. He's looking to get the offense jump-started. It'll be Zion Bolin, Ryan Moritz, and Max McGuire here in the second to face Graham Jordan, who gave up a double and a walk but kept the Dragons scoreless. First pitch to Bolin's taken high for a ball. Zion Bolin currently on a current team high 10-game hit strike. Pitch upstairs, 2-0. Bolin now hitting .297 for the year. Ball 3 to Zion. 4 home runs, 27 driven in. The cripple's in for a strike. Over his 10-game hitting streak, Zion is 13 for 32, and he's brought his average up a total of 33 points. There's a strike, and the count now will run full. The hitting streak by Zion, the 4th longest this year by a Blue Dragon. Here's payoff. Jam shot rolled to third. Perez charges field. Strong throw. Did the throw pull him? No, it didn't. Bolin retired for the first out to inning number 2. So 1 away for the second baseman, Ryan Moritz. The sophomore from Omaha hitting .306. His next hit will be his season's 50th. 2 home runs for Mo, 21 RBIs, hitting from the left side. He's 3 for 13 in the Cloud Series. Strike outside corner. On March 7, Mo was hitting .167 late on that fastball. And very quickly down in the count, 0-2. So Jordan right now pounding the strike zone. The pitch. Outside the ball, 1-2. You got that average up to .311 on April 3rd. Went 3 for 3 against Sterling with a RBI and a double. Swings and misses and strikes out here. And there's 2 away. That is now 2 strikeouts for Jordan. And for the Blue Dragons, season strikeout number 463. 5 more strikeouts, and they will break the dubious record of most strikeouts in a season in Blue Dragon history. Now catcher Max McGuire. Breaking pitch inside for a ball. McGuire hitting .259. 5 home runs, 17 driven in. Another off-speed pitch over but low. It's 2 balls and no strikes to the Dragon catcher. McGuire back in February was 2 for 4. Big cut and a foul back to the netting. 2-1 the count now. Max had a double, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored on that coolish February afternoon in Pittsburgh. Breaking pitch inside 3-1, so McGuire in the driver's seat, but that hasn't meant much so far. Several Blue Dragons have been up in the count, and Graham Jordan has made quality pitches to keep him out. That pitch is missed a little bit low. That's a walk. Second walk issued. And that'll bring up Will Reitz, the other of the two Dragons, that is struggling mightily. Reitz has seen his average plummet 40 points to .262. He's 0 for his last 18, 1 for his last 25. Ten home runs for Reitz. He goes at 29 RBIs. He swings and misses on that offering. Still leads the league with 25 hit by pitches, but he's only had one of those in the last 9 games. That one's hit well to right field. Saldana going back, still drifting back, slowing down, makes the catch, and the inning is over. Dragons get a 2-out walk from McGuire, and leave one, and after 2, it's the Dragons nothing and the Cardinals nothing. Top of the order for the Cardinals. In the top of the third, no score through 2. Game 1 of the Region 6 best-of-3 opening round series from Hobart-Detter Field. A very soggy Hobart-Detter Field. Close to 6 inches of rain since Sunday have fallen, and most of it very heavy quantities in very short periods of time, thus all the floodwaters off to our left. Ball 1 to Landon Lord, who led off against Jake Buns and drew a walk. Buns lasted just 5 batters before injuring himself. Now ball 2. Lord has not seen a strike yet. He walked on 4 pitches from Buns, and now he's ahead in the count on McDonough 2-0. That one fouled back to the netting, and it's 2-1. There is all kinds of flooding around south central and southeastern Kansas. Right now, south central Kansas really taking the brunt of all this rain. 2-1 pitch. Swung on a miss, 2-2. Highway 50 between Yoder Road and Newton has been shut down for the better part of the last 24 hours. McDonough's 2-2. Outside, full count. Around Reno County, just around Hutch in general, several streets were flooded. The arena, the street in front of the arena, 11th Avenue, flooded several times. Ate a couple of cars along the way. Here's payoff pitch. Struck him out. That's 4 consecutive strikeouts now for McDonough, who struck out the side in the second. He came in with a 2-0 count on Jacoby and lost him. That walk was charged to Buns. Since McDonough's retired 5 in a row, 4 by strikeout. There's a swing and a miss by the left fielder, Josh Praley. Praley sacrificed his first time up. Pitch a little bit low for a ball, and it's 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch. Right down the chute for a strike, 1-2. So this series, the 1-16 matchup, we're not going to know an opponent probably until tomorrow. Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout. 5 strikeouts in a row for McDonough. Nasty breaking pitch. 2 away for the catcher, Drew White. Drew White struck out against Buns. And we mentioned White, the third leading hitter in the Jayhawk, with a 429 average coming in. The pitch, breaking pitch, inside corner, a strike called. Drew White out of Oklahoma City. That breaking pitch misses low and away. Count even a 1-1. LJ has put in a ton of time working back from those early season struggles. He really has had a hard time finding the zone. And when he did, he was hit pretty hard. 1-1 pitch. Fastball upstairs, 2-1. We talked about the fact that he had 8 walks in his first 2 2/3 innings pitched. Had 11 since. Pitch a little bit low, 3-1. This hot streak of his started on April 9th against Seminole. Just a third of an inning, but that was a strikeout. And he just kind of built momentum from there. 3-1 pitch. He went around, fooled on the pitch. White goes around. Now the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now the payoff. Lost him. Pitch just off the plate wide, maybe a little high. First walk issued by McDonough. It's a 2-out walk to White, and that'll bring up the third baseman and cleanup hitter, Justin Perez. Perez walked his first time up. He was stranded at second. Crowd building down on the party deck. Again, this is commencement day. 308 had a early dismissal today. Thus, the Carpenter family production team down here working. My daughter Samantha, my granddaughter Karen. 1-0 to Perez, the pitch. Swung through and missed. A good lively fastball up in the zone, and it's 1-1. Against Coffeyville on April 16th, McDonough worked 1 scoreless inning with a strikeout, and then he really took off. He got some extended action. Pitched the final 4 2/3 against Seward County. There's that big, nasty breaking pitch, but misses way outside, 2-1. He got the win in the 17-11 10-inning game in game number 4 at Seward County on April 20th. Worked the final 4 2/3, allowed just 3 hits, 1 run, walked 2, but struck out 10. Now 3-1, so LJ battling his control a little bit here in the latter stages of the third. No score. Both teams have had runners on. Cardinals left them loaded in the first. 3-1 pitch. Well hit to left, going back as Metzger, still going back, and it's going to one-hop the wall. White's being waved around third, now being held up as Riley Metzger hustles it in with a good, strong relay throw. And the Cardinals get their first hit of the game, a ringing double to left field over the head of Riley Metzger by Perez. So it's runners at second and third and 2 out. And that's the risk you take when you continually fall behind hitters. So after a pair of strikeouts to Lord and Praley, White walks on a close pitch, and then Perez doubles on a 3-2 pitch. And now it will be Evan Jacoby, the designated hitter. Jacoby walked his first time. Fastball in for a strike. McDonough's fastball will touch 91, 92. Here's the 0-1. Pitch back to the screen. Going to be a play at the plate that throws high and the run scores. They had a chance to get him, but McGuire's throw was way over the head of McDonough, who was there in time. Labette takes a 1-0 lead on a wild pitch. So basically, everything the Blue Dragons have offered in terms of freebies, finally Labette jumps on one. So wild pitch scores White. Perez moves to third, and the Blue Dragons trail at 1-0. 1-1. Strike on the outside corner. Again, Jay Sanderson behind the plate. He's a veteran umpire. Todd Segweg at third. Sam Schartz at first. One tap foul at the plate. Remains a ball and 2 strikes to the batter, Jacoby. It's just kind of been a stretch for the Dragons that they're giving a lot of freebies away. Swing and a miss. Baxley holds on, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. A run, a hit, a big wild pitch, and 1 left on after now 2.5. The Cardinals 1, the Dragons nothing. Second time around the order for the Dragons against Graham Jordan. Hutch trailing 1-0. Logan Sartori takes a strike. Sartori grounded out to second his first time up. 1-0 off speed. Now one's upstairs. Count 1-1. Sartori is in about a 5-week groove of every one of his outs are pop or fly ball outs. The pitch. Breaking pitch over but low, 2-1. His average, Sartori's on April 12th, was 333. It's now dipped to 318. He pops this one back and out of play. And it's 2-2. Sartori in the final game of the Cloud Series was 3 for 4. He also had a double, which tied a season school record with 3 others with his 37 career doubles. Pitching on the hands, foul back out of play. And it's 2-2. Thad Weber, Bobby Morganson, and Michael Hellman are the other 3 with 37 doubles. So a log jam at the top of that particular record category. Breaking pitch inside. Full count now to Sartori. It's Sartori, Nedved, and Schmidt here in the third. Dragons looking for the equalizer. Logan calls time and steps out. Logan's mom listening in back in Lincoln. Told me a little secret pitch. That's a hot shot up the middle. It's going to get in. Wasn't so hot after all. With the ground that's soft because of all the rain. It was slowed down when it hit the top of the mound and then slowed down in the grass. But it's a single for Sartori. Logan's mom a few weeks ago mentioned to me that even when she's an elementary teacher in Lincoln, she listens to the games during class time. So if you're listening in, Mrs. Sartori, hi from Hutchinson. Now Nedved. Nedved doubled to the right field corner the opposite way his first time up. 42 career steals for Sartori at first base. They make a move over there. He's 27 for 31 this year. and 42 career steals. 14th most in Blue Dragon history. Decent lead over there. Sartori does not go. Big breaking pitch drops in, and it's strike one to Nedved. Sartori's way up on several offensive categories. Another move over to first. Third in runs with 139. 10th in hits with 140. Now 141. Tied for first in doubles. Strike called to Nedved. Nothing in two. 112 RBIs is eighth most. 253 total bases, sixth most. 42 stolen bases is 12th. Defensively, also sixth on that list. That fastball from Jordan high, 1 and 2. Sartori, a .334 career hitter. Actually came into the program as a walk-on and earned the scholarship, and now he's going to Texas A&M. Now the move with the first. Sartori was leaning, but he gets back in. Pretty good move by Graham Jordan. Dragons with 2 hits. Sartori and Nedved have them both. Out of the stretch, Jordan, the delivery. Breaking pitch high and outside. 2 and 2. Game 2 of this series will be tomorrow, 1 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 12:45. If needed, a game 3, 30 minutes after the completion of tomorrow's second game of the series. Here's the 2-2. Low and outside. Nedved's worth the count full after trailing 0-2. Jordan steps off, now gets right back on. Dragons looking for the equalizer. Another move to first, Sartori back. 3-2 pitch, he's likely going. It's a good running situation. Nedved normally puts the ball in play. Logan stretches out that lead at first. He goes, and it's a slice foul off to the right. Somebody's car might be in jeopardy after that one. That is the supposition of Assistant Athletic Director Steve Kappenman. There are certain spots in the lot, which I take one of, that are very safe. Renner does not go this time, and Nedved hits another one foul off to the right. Pitch count up to 53 now for Jordan Graham. 27 have been strikes. Seems like he's been in the zone more. Dragons still kind of struggling offensively over their last 5 games. Here's the pitch. Grounded right back to the pitcher. They go to second for 1, and on to first. That's a double play. 1 to 6 to 3. Jordan to Lord to Postier. That erases the leadoff single. Ryan Schmidt's going to go talk to Todd Segweg. It's questionable that the shortstop Lord did not make connections with the base. I honestly questioned it right as I saw it. Didn't initially say anything. But this is one that's not going to be replayed or discussed or overturned. Ryan Schmidt just wants to make sure that his point has been made. And the argument can go no further and doesn't as he returns to the dugout. Now bases empty, 2 away for Zane Schmidt. Zane walked his first time and pops one up on the first offering here. Drifting back as the second baseman to Jesus. He makes the catch in short right field. And just like that, the Dragons are done in the third. We head to the fourth at Hobart-Detter Field. Cardinals 1 and the Dragons nothing. Welcome back to Hobart-Detter Field. Steve Carpenter with you on the Blue Dragons Sports Network. Game one of this best-of-3 Region 6 series between the Blue Dragons and Labette Cardinals. 1-0 Labette through 3. And it's a swing and a miss by the right fielder Tate Saldana to start the fourth. Saldana, Postier, and DeJesus, 6, 7, and 8. Breaking pitch back to the screen. 1-1. Old Jay McDonough back out for his third full inning. He replaced starter Jake Buns, who injured his pitching arm at the top of the first after 5 batters. That fastball sails inside, 2-1. Upstairs, 3-1. LJ has been behind several hitters, and it cost him in the third. A walk, a double, and a wild pitch produced Labette's first run. That fastball right over the outer side corner. Full count. The big righty into the wind. And it's fouled off to the right. LJ up to 55 pitches, 30 for strikes. I like to see that pitch efficiency just a little bit better. Once again, 3-2. Foul off again. The warning track, because of all the rain, pretty much soft all the way around. The playing surface, pretty solid. 3-2 pitch. Foul off again. That's 3 straight 2-strike pitches that have been fouled off by Saldana. Again, Saldana did not see action in the February meetings between these two teams in Pittsburgh. 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. One away here in the fourth. McDonough now 7 strikeouts through 2 2/3 innings. 1 hit, one earned run, 1 walk. And it's the walk that came around to score. 1 away, bases empty for the first baseman, Rustin Postier, strikeout victim his first time. Big curveball misses outside, ball 1. How important has game 1 been to Hutchinson over the years? They're 7-0 in these series when winning game 1. Swing and a miss. Only once have the Blue Dragons had to rally from a game 1 loss to win a series. There's a strike at the letters, 1 and 2. That happened last year against Coffeyville. The Dragons dropped the first game here at Hobart-Detter Field 6-1, but then won the next 2 7-2 and 4-3. Swing and a miss. And Postier's made quick work of 2 away for the second baseman, Abner DeJesus. He struck out his first time. Again, this format was instituted in 2004. And it was a very inauspicious start for the Dragons. They hosted Johnson County that year. Lost 12-11 and got blasted 13-2. That team had a future Blue Dragon football coach on it by the name of Tommy Mangino. He was the catcher on that 04 Johnson County team. The 0-1. Tap left side, charging is Ned. Bare hand fields and throws a strike to first. And the inning is over. Nice play by Dillon on a very soft hit ball by DeJesus. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Dragons trail 1-0. Middle third of the order for the Dragons in the fourth against Graham Jordan, who's not pitching like a 1-5 record with a 9+ ERA. He's pitching well for Aaron Kill's Cardinals. Metzger took a called third, struck out swinging, his first time up. Didn't check his swing. Takes a strike on the outside corner to start the fourth. Dragons with just 2 hits. Double by Nedved, a single by Sartori. High fly ball, deep center field. Federico at the fence. This one is gone, and we're tied at 1. Riley Metzger hammers a pitch to dead center field. 8th of the year, RBI number 48, and that ties the game at 1 apiece. That, as they say, was a no-doubter. Riles was sitting dead red and went yard. 3rd hit of the game for Hutch. And now here's Zach Baxley, took a called third, showing bunt, and pulls back for ball 1. The pitch from Jordan in the dirt. Now see if the Dragons can kind of rattle him up. Metzger's second home run in 4 games. He homered at Cloud County a week ago. There's a strike. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike, the count. Back's now 3 for his last 28, but he's ahead in the count here at 3-1. He had just 1 hit against Cloud County. That came in game 3 of the series. Low ball 4. So Baxley walks, nobody out. Now here's Zion Bolin. Zion Bolin hit a soft grounder to third. Justin Perez is equal to the task on. Dylan Nedved has hitting streaks of 12 and 11. Will Reitz has an 11. Those are the other 3 hitting streaks this season of 10 or more by Hutchinson batters. And Zion the 4th with 10. Breaking pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. Bolin missed a month. Missed from February 17th to March 17th with a leg injury. Came back on March 17th, pulls this one foul and a pitch in on the hands, and he's down in the count 0-2. Returned on March 17th in a conference game at Barton in Great Bend. Went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs against the Cougars on that afternoon. Baxley away from first. Here's the 0-2 to Bolin. Called strike 3. Upper portion of the zone, but that's why you can't necessarily give up on an 0-2 thinking they're going to waste one. 1 out now for Ryan Moritz, who struck out swinging his first time. One of the dubious records that Ryan's up is on. He's 3rd in all-time strikeouts with 91. Mo struck out for the 58th time this year. That's not even high on the team. Will Reitz has 62 punch-outs. And the Dragons, as a whole, nearing another dubious record, most strikeouts in the season. We're not going to hype that one up too much. Here's a 1-0 to Mo. Chased a high fastball and missed 1-1. The league has the book on Ryan Moritz. They know, the entire league knows that he will chase up. When Ryan's going good, he is spraying balls to left center field on a line. Once that happens, then he starts getting hits to right field. Pitch way outside, and it's 2-1. Ryan delivered some clutch hits in the Colby series, including a 2-run double at Colby. I'll check that game was here. Two and one the count to Moritz. Maxley at first, not a threat to go. Here's a pitch. So inside out, seen the left side. Could it be trouble? Fielded by Lord. The throw not in time. That's an infield single. So Moritz, again, hits it to the other side when he gets an infield single out of it, and Dragons have him on first and second with one out. Baxley at second, the go-ahead run. Now it's the catcher, Max McGuire, who walked his first time. Max had one of the key at-bats of the regular season last Thursday, or a week ago yesterday, technically, in Concordia. In Game 2 of that series. Cloud had already won the first game. And it was 2-2 going in the ninth, and McGuire led off the ninth with a home run. Dragons, that started a 4-run ninth, and the Dragons wound up winning 6-3. Ball one to Max on a breaking pitch up. The 1-0. Right down Peachtree for a strike, and it's 1-1. KCK and Barton underway in game number 2 up in Kansas City. Barton with an early 1-0 lead. They won the first game yesterday 6-2. Barton the lower seed in that matchup. Pitch inside, and it's 2-1 to McGuire. Will Reitz on deck. The Barton KCK series is the 6-11 matchup on the other side of the bracket. The pitch chased an off-speed offering. It's 2-2. Seward County and Fort Scott, those games being played in Fort Scott. That series will not start till tomorrow. The if game would be Sunday. It would be the latest finishing one if it goes at. So far, nobody else set to go into Mother's Day on Sunday. Here's the 2-2. Breaking pitch, got him swinging. That's a strikeout. Max isn't 100% sure, but now he heads back to the dugout without number 2. So now it's going to take a 2-out hit from Will Reitz. Will flew out to moderately deep right his first time up. Now 0 for his last 19, 1 for his last 26. Here's the pitch. That one's through the glove on a pitch high. Baxley didn't recognize it right away. Moritz did and almost chased him down, but the runners move up on the wild pitch. And it's second and third, 2 outs. Base hit could score 2 here for Reitz. Again, Will has not driven in a run since a 2 RBI game April 20th against Seward County. Check down to first. They say he went around, and now it's 1-1. He entered this 1 for 26 coming off back-to-back multi-hit games against Seward, where he was 5 for 10. That pitch misses, and it's 2-1. Will has spent most of the year in the leadoff spot, but the recent slump has brought him down the order to number 9. Still playing a solid defense, which is a good sign. 2-1 pitch to Will. Outside 3-1. Reitz can extend it. It's back to the top of the order in Sartori. Baxley at third. Here's the pitch. Strike call. That was a 50-50 that went the way of the Cardinals. Full count now. Will up on the plate. Jordan comes set, now delivers the payoff. Strike him out. So the struggles for Reeds continue, and the Dragons strand a pair, but they get the Riley Metzger home run to lead off the fourth. And after 4, it's now the Dragons 1 and the Cardinals 1. Ball 1 to Dante Frederico. It's a swing and a miss. 5th inning here at Hobart-Detter Field. 1-1 the score. Riley Metzger, solo home run to center field, tied it up in the bottom of the 4th. Fastball from McDonough outside, and it's 2-1. Again, LJ into his 4th full inning. Pitch outside, 3-1. Federico's the number 9 hitter. Then it's back to the top, and Lord and Praley. Sun trying to burn through. There's a strike. This is already the 6th full count that McDonough has worked. 3-2 pitch. Ooh, didn't miss by much. It's a leadoff walk to start the 5th. Second time the Cardinals had their leadoff man aboard. Now it's Landon Lord, the shortstop. He has walked and struck out. McDonough out of the stretch to pitch. There's bunt popped up and is cut out of the air. This could be a double play, and it is. A bad read by Federico at first, and the Dragons catch a break on a popped up bunt that turns into a double play. So base is empty, 2 away now for Josh Praley. That was a good pitch from LJ up and in on the bunt attempt. It popped straight up, and LJ, it was just a matter if LJ was going to get there to catch it. And all of a sudden, Federico broke towards second base and didn't tag up. So it turned out to be an easy double play. Ball 1 to Praley. Now ball 2. So LJ battling his control a little bit, but he's giving up very little. Big cut and a miss. Again, of the 18 Division I teams in the Jayhawk, Labette 17th in batting average. Strike called outside corner, 2-2. Dragons about hit Labette 4-1. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, another full count. Number 8 of the game. Here's the payoff. Foul back. Rattled around off the front facade of the press box and bounced all the way back into fair territory that Zach Baxley had to go field. Each team now with a double play. Once again, the 3-2. Called strike 3. So a promising start for Labette in the 5th. Disappears very quickly. McDonough ends up facing the minimum. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Halfway through in game number 1, Dragons won and the Cardinals won. Score update from Overland Park, bottom of the 2nd. Johnson County and Garden City tied 1-1. Johnson County won the first game of that series yesterday, 13-6. So the Cavaliers looking for the sweep. The Busters looking to extend to a decisive 3rd game. Logan Sartori hits one high and fairly deep to center. Federico going back, he's out the track and makes the catch just onto the track for the first out of the 5th inning. So Sartori flies out deep to center. And now Dylan Nedved is doubled and hit into a double play, 1 for 2. That hit by Nedved. Let me switch pages here. Takes a pitch up for ball 1. That was his 148th career hit, which is 6th all-time. Slices that one foul. Next up on the list for Nedved to chase is Bobby Morganson, who is 5th with 155. And then right ahead of Morganson is Chris Finnegan with 156th and 4th. Sartori's hit earlier in the game now ties him with Thad Weber for 9th with 141 hits. He now chases Tim Olson with 143. 3-1 now to the count to Nedved. Graham Jordan working into the bottom of the 5th here. Pitch outside. And it's a 1-out walk. So Nedved reaches base for the 2nd time. Jordan now 4 1/3 innings pitched. 6 strikeouts, 4 walks, 4 hits, 1 earned run. 86 pitches. There are people out in the Labette pen, but no action. Now Zane Schmidt, 0 for 1, a walk and a first pitch pop out to shallow right. He's been very antsy as of late. Goes first pitch hacking and fouls this one off. He had a couple of very, very poor at-bats in prime situations in the 6-2 loss in the season finale last Saturday against Cloud County and McPherson. Left 5 people on base on that afternoon. The pitch, way upstairs, 1-1. But still putting up MVP-type numbers. The 20 home runs are the second most in single-season Blue Dragon history, only behind Caden Doge's 31. 1-1. That one's hit to left field for Praley. He's almost right in his tracks to make the catch for out number 2. But that's a good sign. In fact, Zane's thinking about going the other way. Look for good things from him throughout the rest of this series. He's now 0 for 2, though. We'll run our first 2 away for Riley Metzger. Riles tied this game up with one swing of the bat to lead off the 4th. He hit his 8th home run of the year, and no doubter to dead center field. That was the 5th home run allowed by Graham Jordan, the 35th allowed by Labette pitching this year. Ball 1 to Riley. Dragons now with 77 home runs as a team, 5th most in team history. Move over to first, back in safely is Nedved. Dylan second on the team with 12 steals. He's 12 for 15. Dragons haven't ran as much the second half of the year as they did the first. The pitch, high and outside, 2-0 to Metzger. When the opponent scores first in 2019, the Dragons have an 11-9 record. That is something they would like to improve upon. Pitch over but low, 3-0. Coffeyville and Colby get underway today. No report from Colby. They'll play a doubleheader today. Neosho County and Butler get underway. A single game tonight at 6 at McDonough Stadium in El Dorado. Pitch way outside. Metzger draws a 2-out walk. That moves Nedved up to second. Now Zach Baxley. He drew a walk his last time, 0 for 1. Again, Barton and Kansas City playing game 2. Barton has a 1-0 lead in that series. The game tied early on in Wyandotte County. Allen and Cloud County play a pair today. They were supposed to get started at 2. Have not seen any updates there. Pratt at Cowley. They'll play a doubleheader today at City Ballpark in Ark City, assuming that ballpark hasn't floated away. Pitch outside, a breaking pitch, ball 1. Nedved at second, Metzger at first. Metzger not being held on. Here's the 1-0. Backs, chases one up and fouls it off to the right. Count evens at 1-1. Those are the only updates I can find throughout the state. Big breaking pitch misses, I believe, low. That's 2-1 to Baxley. Aaron Keel, I think, is going to ride Graham Jordan as long as he can. Labette has never won a game in a best-of-3 series. Chopped up the middle. Lord gets to it, will flip to DeJesus for the force, and the Dragons are turned away in the 5th. No runs, no hits, a couple of walks and 2 left. The Dragons have stranded 7 through 5 innings. We head to the 6th in game 1 at Hobart-Detter. Dragons won, the Cardinals won. 3, 4, and 5 here in the Labette 6th of a 1-1 game. Very interesting innings to be sure coming up as we enter the second half of this one. There's a chopper down the third base line fielded by Nedved. Strong throw, and it's past Baxley. And on his way to second is White with a throwing error. That Nedved fielded it clean, but the throw was low. Baxley couldn't pick it out. And the go-ahead run at second base to lead off the 6th. Now the third baseman, Justin Perez. Karen. Pitcher McDonough chased up high. Strike one to Perez. Perez has walked and doubled. The only hit of the game for Labette. And that set up the wild pitch that allowed White to score Labette's only run. Perez showing bunt. Pat, pitch in the dirt. Nice backhanded stop by McGuire. Count even 1-1. Now into his 5th full inning of work. L.J. McDonough up to 79 pitches. Cade Fenton throwing in the pen. That pitch outside. 2-1. We'll see if Aaron Keel keeps the bunt on with a plus count in the Cardinals' advantage. Nedved deep at third. Zach Baxley starts crashing in. There's a strike at the letters, a fastball, 2-2. 7 strikeouts for LJ. He came out strong. He struck out 4 in a row, including the side in the second. Sun peering through the clouds now. The pitch. Foul back. Still mostly overcast, but there are peaks of blue up there now. After saying all week that Saturday was supposed to be dry, now there's a chance of rain tomorrow. Not a lot, but just enough to mess things up. 2-2 pitch. Breaking pitch outside, full count. I feel like I've said that a million times today, and actually it's been 9. One the score here in the 6th. The pitch. Fouled at the plate. Did he hold it? Yes, he did. That's a strikeout. Max McGuire holds the foul tip. That becomes strikeout number 8 and a big out number 1 here in the 6th. Now the left-handed hitting Tate Saldana. Minimum, he wants to hit one to the right side to move the runner up to third. McDonough's pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. And righty Cade Fenton throwing in the dragon pen. Brian Skillman also down there, but he's not throwing right now. There's a 1-0. One's hit the left. Playable for Metzger. Now drifting back a few steps. Makes the catch. White was about halfway and has to retreat. Now 2 away. The Dragons as a whole have struggled in these types of situations for the better part of the year, getting out of these types of jams with 2 out. They've given up a ton of 2-out runs over the last 3 weeks. And L.J. McDonough wants to put a stop to that right here. He will face Tate Saldana, who's grounded out and struck out, and chases a fastball for strike 1. Opposing teams with 2 out, not an impressive average of 250, but they have 111 2-out RBIs. 20 of those have come in the last 12 games. The 0-1. Off speed, swung through and missed. 0-2. So McDonough, a strike away from working around a leadoff double. Or a leadoff two-base error, my apology. LJ checks the runner. Now the 0-2. Pitch in the dirt. Good stop by McGuire, 1-2. That was pitch number 91. McDonough gets the signing, comes set. Now the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball right side. Moritz dives and he gets through for a base hit, rounding third. Here comes the throw. It's not in time, and Labette takes a 2-1 lead. Another two-out RBI. This one, a seeing-eye single through the right side that Ryan Moritz just couldn't get to, missed it by an eyelash. And Labette takes the lead right back at 2-1. So the error comes back to haunt the Dragons. An unearned run, but they still count. And Hutch now trails 2-1 with Saldana's single. His 13th RBI of the year. Now that pitch wide and back to the screen. And LJ needs to hold it together. That was just the second hit of the game for the Cardinals. The 1-0. Upstairs 2-0. Now double-barreled action as Skillman's joined in. 2-0 pitch. Swung on a missed by Postier, and it's 2-1. Just 2 hits allowed by McDonough. But the Dragons have issued enough freebies. Swung on a miss, 2-2. It was a wild pitch that allowed the first run to score. And it was a two-base throwing error by Nedved that set up Saldana's two-out bleeding single through the right side. 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. The inning is over. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Dragon offense needs to wake up. They now trail Labette 2-1. Hutch has out hit Labette 4-2. But they trailed 2-1, bottom of the 6th. Zion Bolin to lead it off against Graham Jordan, who was 1-5 with the 9+ ERA coming in. And Bolin jumps on the first pitch and drives it high and deep to left field, but it's going to be well foul. 11 strikeouts for L.J. McDonough. He has walked 2, allowed just 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. Ball to Bolin, and it's 1-1. Zion has grounded out and struck out looking. Dragons trail 2-1 here in game number 1. That pitch bounces in. On pitch number 100 by Graham Jordan. Bolin hits one down the right field line high, giving chase is posterior to Jesus Saldana. It's the first baseman, posterior in foul territory, making the catch for out number 1. Base is empty, one away for Ryan Moritz, who's 1 for 2. He had an infield single on a slow roller to short. That is Hutchinson's last hit off of Graham Jordan. Foul tipped at the plate by Moe. And the Dragons, in their history in this format, 7-0 when winning game number 1. The only time that they lost a game 1-1 came right here last year against Coffeyville. Overall, 17-11, the record of the Blue Dragons in the best of 3 series. Labette over 0-6. Fastball outside corner, a strike, and it's 1-2. Max McGuire would be next. Here's the 0-2. Upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. There is action in the Labette pen. Labette's team ERA is 7.73. Good discipline by Moe to lay off that pitch up, full count. You get the feeling if the Dragons can get it into the bullpen, things can get turned around quickly. 3-2 pitch. Evidently missed a pitch up here. That was on the same count. Jay Sanderson said the count is now full, so payoff pitch, fouled off. That one headed toward the flooded Arkansas River. Not that many been hit over that way today. Payoff pitch. Ball 4 to Moritz. He's the tying run with 1 out here in the 6th. Now Max McGuire. Max has walked and struck out, nothing for 1. Now the pitching coach for the Cardinals, as Alex Copeland comes out, he's going to have a chat with his pitcher, Jordan Graham. Let's check his numbers. Graham now 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. He has struck out 6 but walked 6. Giving up 1 home run. He's right at 108 pitches. And the Dragons dominated this team on February 27th in Pittsburgh, but that was eons ago. Meeting is over. Jay Sanderson breaks it up. So now McGuire against Graham. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1. Jordan out of Maumelle, Arkansas. There's a 1-0. Good pitch located on the outside corner at the knees for a strike. 1-1 to McGuire. 1-1. Dragons gave up the lead in the top of the inning. Breaking pitch, a beauty. Strike called 1-2. That's the pitch that's kept the Blue Dragons off balance. It's got a big old slow 12-6 curve that the Dragons just don't have measured up yet. Moritz away from first. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Good stop by White. Moritz stays at first, and it's 2-2 to McGuire. Will Reitz on deck. Ryan Schmidt bidding for win number 260 in his Blue Dragon career, 369 overall. Pitch high and outside, snap throw to first. Back in with the head first dive is Moritz. Now it's a 3-2 count to McGuire. Doubtful that Moritz will be going. Not a big steal threat. I also don't want to go into a strikeout, throw-out, double play mode. Here's the payoff. Foul back over the press box. Only twice has the Blue Dragons dropped a game one here. 2004 against Johnson and last year against Coffeyville. 3-2 pitch. Strike him out on a breaking pitch. And that is out number 2. So the Blue Dragons strike out for the 7th time, and that does give the 2019 Blue Dragons a dubious record, breaking the all-time season record now with 468 strikeouts. Here's Reitz. 0 for 2, a fly out and a strikeout, pitch in the dirt. White lost it for a moment. Moritz couldn't get a good read, and it's ball 1 to Will, who is due. Will is a hungry hitter right now. What a great time for him to break out of one. Wind blowing toward the left field corner, what's kicked up. Reitz swings and pops one up, foul over the Labette bullpen. Reitz, his last home run came April 20th against Seward County. The pitch. Pops one up behind the plate, giving Jace is White, and it's backing out of play. Reitz's last RBI came April 25th. Check that, came April 20th at Seward County. He had a double in that game. Also homered. Here's the 1-2. Called strike 3 outside corner, and the inning is over. Frustrating afternoon continues for Hutchinson. Graham Jordan, 6 strong innings. We head to the 7th in game number 1. Cardinals 2 and the Dragons 1. Cade Fenton into the game, the third Blue Dragon pitcher. Takes over for L.J. McDonough, who works a strong 5 1/3 innings, but he's on the hook for the loss. An unearned run in the top of the 6th has given Labette a 2-1 lead. We head to the 7th inning. It is 8-9-1. Cade Fenton starts ball one back at the screen. Fenton, 6'2", 195-pound redshirt out of Prairie Grove, Arkansas. Big whine in the pitch, and that hit him. So more freebies for the Cardinals via the Blue Dragons pitching and defense. The numbers on Fenton. On for the 13th time, all in relief, a 1-1 record and a 4.26 ERA. 12 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 12 runs, 14 strikeouts, 6 walks. Opponents hitting 167 against. Showing bunt is Federico, and he takes high for ball one. Third baseman Dylan Nedved, even with the bag, now starting to creep in. Federico showing bunt. There's a strike at the letters, 1-1. Showing bunt once again. Pitches upstairs, 2-1. L.J. McDonough strikes out a career high 11 in 5 1/3 innings. Allows just 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. Walked 2. Had 1 wild pitch. 2-1 pitch. Runner goes, and it's fouled back, so Aaron Keel switches up and puts the hit and run on. DeJesus got a huge jump on Fenton. Baxley holding him on. Now 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3 at the letters, 1 away. Jay Sanderson rings up Federico. Now it's back to the top of the order and shortstop Landon Lord. Lord 0 for 2, walked, struck out, and then popped a bunt up into a double play on a sacrifice attempt. We might see the Dragons roll another double play here. Breaking pitch just misses outside, ball 1. The Dragons, as of late, have been tenacious late in games and coming back. Runner goes. Hit and runs on again. Lord fouls it off to the right. So Aaron Keel, the 20-year head coach of the Cardinals, also that school's athletic director, cranking it up, trying to change up with a couple of hit and runs. The pitch. Strike call, the big 12-6 curve. It was a nice pitch. 1-2 the count. One-two delivery. Curveball. Did he called strike 3? Lord completely frozen on that pitch. He knew it. Now 2 away for 2-hole hitter Josh Praley. Praley over 3, a ground out and a pair of strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking. Now a runner at first, 2 away. Fastball low and in, ball 1. Outside ball 2. Again, 2 strikes or 2 outs, and the Dragon pitchers just kind of lose it. It's inexplicable. 2-0 pitch. Just lifted down the left field line, but it's going to hook foul. just up the embankment toward the river. That one should be findable. It's going to be soggy, but it's going to be findable. It won't be in Wichita by drive time tonight if it hits the river. Here's the 2-1 from Fenton. Good pitch outside corner at the knees. Strike called 2-2. On a couple of occasions, DeJesus has broken on the pitch, but those were on hit and runs. Now it's a 2-2 count. Runner fakes, and that pitch just misses. I think the fact that Praley threw the bat out, I think it obstructed the view of Jay Sanderson. He didn't quite see the pitch. That looked like strike 3. Now it's a full count. Wow. Payoff pitch. Runner goes. Struck him out and the inning is over. So Caden Fenton, a couple of strikeouts. Check that, 3 strikeouts after hitting the leadoff batter. Stretch time at Hobart-Detter. It's the Cardinals 2 and the Dragons 1. Dragons need to get it going. They're down to their final 3 at bats here in game number 1, trailing Labette 2-1. It's the top of the order. 4th time around against Graham Jordan. Sartori, Nedved, and Schmidt. And if anybody gets on, Riley Metzger. Logan Sartori 1 for 3. And he goes first pitch, hacking and drives one to left. Back goes Praley. He's at the fence, looks up, and it's gone! Off the roof of the off the roof of the locker room. Logan Sartori's 11th home run ties it up at 2. I give him a hard time for first pitch hacking, but he jumped on that first pitch and launched it. So home runs by Metzger, now Sartori, the only Dragon offense of the day. Tied at 2. Here's Nedved. Strike inside corner. Dillon didn't think so. Nedved has doubled, hit into a double play, and walked 1 for 2. Ground ball to second. Fielded by DeJesus. And Nedved's out number 1 here in the 7th. That'll bring up Zane Schmidt. First pitch swinging. Logan Sartori ties it at 2, hitting one off the new locker room's roof in left field. Strike outside corner. Been a pretty big zone today by Jay Sanderson. Schmidt 0 for 2. He walked in the first. Couple of pop-ups since. Pops this one to center field. Drifting back is Federico. This one playable, though. Catch is made just short of the track, and there's 2 away. Now Riley Metzger. Dragons have out-hit Labette 5-2. Said before that Aaron Keel is going to go Graham Jordan as long as he can. He's now up to 124 pitches with 2 outs here into the 7th inning. Metzger takes a breaking pitch, low and in, ball 1. Riley has homered, walked, and struck out. The sophomore from Stillwater. Goes the other way, hits one down the left field line, giving chases Praley, but he's going to run out of room. It lands behind the Dragon bullpen for a strike, 1-1. Hardly any wind to speak of. Comfortable afternoon, mostly cloudy. Here's the pitch. Big cut by Riles, and he fouls it back. It looks like he may have injured himself. He looks to be in a little bit of discomfort. Taking a moment before he climbs back in. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Riley Metzger. Graham Jordan into the line, the pitch. Breaking pitch low, 2-2. That home run by Sartori gets L.J. McDonough off the hook for the loss. Here's 2-2. Way outside. Sartori now is tied for 10th on the all-time list with teammate Zane Schmidt with 20 career home runs. Here's the payoff. Hot shot. Nice backhanded dig by Rustin Posterior. He'll field take it to the bag, and the inning is over. But Sartori on the first pitch of the inning. It's a solo home run to left field. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left. We've completed 7 at Hobart-Detter. Our new score, Dragons 2, Cardinals 2. Couple of score updates. Barton at KCK. Barton trails in the top of the 5th at Kansas City 3-1. The Cougars have a 1-0 lead in that series. Bottom of the 5th in Overland Park, Johnson County leads Barton 3-2. So here we go, top of the 8th. Cade Fenton back to the mound. And it's 3-4-5 here in the 8th for the Cardinals. Drew White, Justin Perez, and Evan Jacoby. White was the one that reached on the error in the 6th. The throwing error by Dylan Nedved was a sharply hit ball down the line. Nedved made a great stop, but the throw was low. Hot shot. That one's past Nedved down the line for extra bases. Metzger gets it in. That's going to be another error on Nedved. That ball should have been fielded. So the Dragons just not doing themselves any favors today. That's now 2 errors. Now here's Perez. He's showing bunt. First baseman Zach Baxley crashes. Pitches over below, ball 1. Perez has walked, doubled, and struck out. He was in the same situation here in the 6th, trying to sacrifice over, and he struck out against L.J. McDonough, showing bunt. This one's bunted foul along the first base line. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for Hutchinson. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Labette. The Dragons have stranded 8, Labette 6 in the game. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Good stop by Max McGuire. Keeps the runner at second. Defensively, third baseman Dylan Nedved playing even with the bag. Zach Baxley, the first baseman's crashing. Showing bunt again, the pitch. Pulls back, gets a strike on the outer half. 2-2 to Perez. Labette took a 1-0 lead on a wild pitch in the third. Metzger homered to center in the fourth to tie it up. The pitch from Fenton pulled foul. On the curveball. Remains 2-2. A 2-base throwing error by Nedved allowed the runner to get to second. A 2-out seeing eye single through the right side allowed White to score to give the Cardinals a 2-1 lead. Then Sartori on the first pitch of the seventh homered to left. That tied it up. Now another error off the bat. White, the pitch. Inside, ball 4. 2 on, nobody out, and then the Dragon dugout barking at Jay Sanderson. So now the left-handed hitting Evan Jacoby. Ryan Schmidt's going to call time and talk strategy. So 2-2 the score. Late here in game number 1. We're going to have a pitching change. So Cade Fenton done. And we'll tell you about the new Dragon pitcher right after this break. Sophomore righty Ryan Summers out of Coweta, Oklahoma, comes in a tough situation. 2-2 game. Labette's gotten the first 2 runners on via error and walk. Nobody out. Game number 1 of the best of 3. Summers comes in with a record of 7-3, making his 21st appearance, 18th out of the pen, a 3.99 earned run average. He has 1 save. 38 1/3 innings pitched for Summers, 31 hits, 19 runs. He has struck out 53, walked 20, and opponents hitting 219 against. He gets the left-handed hitting designated hitter, Evan Jacoby. He shows bunt and takes low, ball 1. The Dragons have been their own worst enemy. A wild pitch allowed a run to score in the third. An error set up the running the sixth, and the runner at second, Drew White, also on by error. That one bunted through for a strike. Snap throw to second is high and into center field. Now Reitz now throws to third, but way late. That throw way high, and that gets away. So 2 errors on the play by the Dragons, and Labette has runners on the corners. The first error on McGuire throwing to second. The second error on Reitz, allowing the runner at first to go to second. So now 4 errors in the game on the Blue Dragons. And again, too many free passes. One and one the count, the pitch. Pop foul out of play. Summers can use a strikeout in a big way. Nobody out, runners at second and third. The infield pulled in for the Dragons. 1-2. Ground shot, line shot right to Nedved. That's a catch, route number 1. Both runners return. The fact that it was right at him was a definite plus. The ball was scorched. One away for Tate Saldana now. Saldana an RBI single in the 6th. That was the little bleeder through the right side, just past the glove of a diving Ryan Moritz. First pitch from Summers, right down Peachtree for a strike. Tense moment for the Dragons. Hutch can use a strikeout or a pop-up. The pitch. Breaking pitch. Misses low and in. 1-1 the count. The 1-1. Fastball, strike outside corner, 1-2. Out of the stretch, Summers comes set. 1-2 pitch, foul back. Labette 0-6 in first round games. 0-3 in series, 0-6. They've never won an opening round playoff game. I know they went 0-2 in 2011 in the sub-regional Liberal. I did not check 10-12. 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. That's out number 2. Off-speed delivery on the inner half. Summers gets a huge strikeout for out number 2, and now it's Rustin Postier, the first baseman. Postier has struck out 3 times, all swinging. Means nothing right now. Summers pitch, a fastball. That one's looped to right center field. That's going to drop in, and the Cardinals are going to take a 2-run lead. That pitch was fat out over the plate. And a 2-run opposite field double for Postier gives Labette a 4-2 lead here in the 8th. Again, 2 out runs being allowed by the Blue Dragons. Both runs unearned. Doesn't matter. Cardinals lead 4-2. Now here's the Jesus. Low ball 1. You're going to give up a 2-out run every once in a while, but just the regularity for which the Dragons have given them up over the last 12 games have really made life a lot harder. There's a fastball for a strike on Ryan Schmidt and his staff. Quite honestly, the Dragons should have had the league wrapped up a week ahead of time. But 2 losses to Dodge City, a team that didn't even make the playoffs. A loss to Pratt and a loss to Garden City. 4 losses there, any one of them that are wins, and the Blue Dragons win the league outright. And in every one of those games, it was 2 out runs against that haunted the Blue Dragons. Now 1-2 the count to DeJesus. The pitch. Curveball misses low and away, 2-2. Just 3 hits on the afternoon for Labette, and 2 of them have produced runs. Strike him out and the inning is over. But Ruston Post Steers, 2 out, 2-run double. 2 runs, 1 hit, 3 errors in the inning, and 1 left on. Dragons have 6 outs left to mount a rally. We're going to see a new pitcher in the game for Labette. After 7.5, Cardinals 4, and the Dragons 2. Rally time for the Dragons. Zach Bax lead off the 8th against a new pitcher for the Labette Cardinals. And it's Adam Rodriguez, a sophomore out of Houston. We'll get to his numbers in a moment. Throwing from the side, it's ball 1 outside. Dragons have seen several submariners this year. The pitch. Chased a high fastball to Baxley, and it's 1-1. Rodriguez 2-5 with 1 save and a 6.65 earned run average, making his 16th appearance. He started 7 games. 1 complete game. Actually, no saves. Here's the pitch. Slow curve misses. 2-1. 35 2/3 innings pitched for Rodriguez. 39 hits, 38 runs, 39 strikeouts, 27 walks. The pitch. Outside 3-1. Rodriguez took the loss in the 18-2 game on February 26th at Pittsburgh. That was the first of 2. Rodriguez in a 9-run first inning didn't retire a batter. Faced 6, and all 6 scored. Swing and a miss. And it's a full count. Dragons simply have to start laying off the high pitch. They've out-hit Labette 5-3, but they trail 4-2. Simply Labette's done more with their hits. But they've also had a bunch of freebies out there. 4 errors, 3 coming in the top of the 8th inning. The Dragons 6 outs away from being against the wall. Low ball 4. That's a leadoff walk for Baxley. Now Zion Bolin. Zion 0 for 3. He represents the tying run. Here's the pitch. Showing bunt along third. It's a good one. Fielded by Perez. The throw to first in time. That'll be a sacrifice. Baxley moves up to second. But that puts Zion's 10-game hitting streak in serious jeopardy. Now a runner at second, one away for Ryan Moritz. Mo is 1 for 2. He singled in the fourth, walked in the sixth. That single in the fourth was a infield single on a slow hit ball to short. RBI opportunity here for Mo. Here's the pitch. Low ball. Now the runner tried to move up. The throw is in there. He's in there. The throw from the catcher, White, was low. Perez picked it off the turf, and that glove came up, and that gave just enough of a window for Baxley to move up, to slide in. A gutty running play. That will be a wild pitch. That will not be a stolen base. Strike called to or a swing and a miss by Moritz, and it's 1-1. Infield back for the Cardinals. They'll give up the run for the out with a 2-run lead. You'd like to see the Dragons produce it here, just for the simple fact to gain some momentum. Pitch back to the screen. Here comes Baxley down the line. There could be a play. The throw not in time. The ball gets away, and Baxley scores to make it 4-3. So the Dragons giveth, and now the Dragons taketh away. A couple of walk and a couple of wild pitches allows Hutchinson's third run to score. Now it's bases empty, 1 away. And of all the runs in this game that have scored, the 2 home runs by Hutch, there's been 3 at-bats where runs have scored without the benefit of a hit. 3-1 to Moritz now. The pitch. Low ball 4. The tying run's on with 1 out for Max McGuire. Max looking for his first hit of the afternoon as Aaron Copland goes out to the mound to speak to his pitcher. In that outing on February 26, Rodriguez allowed 5 hits, 6 runs all earned, a walk, gave up a double and a triple. That was all part of a 9-run first inning of an 18-2 5-inning victory. The Dragons then went on to win the second game 7-1. So now it's McGuire against Rodriguez. Real quick, let's get to the numbers on Graham Jordan. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, 6 walks. Now McGuire, the pitch. Breaking pitch at the knees, a strike. Tying run at first, 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Dragons trailing 4-3. Here's the pitch. Grounded, high chopper to third. Fielded by Perez. He'll go to first for the out. Moving up to second is Moritz, now with 2 outs. And Will Reitz will be the batter. What a time for him to break out of his slump. Will's 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Now 0 for his last 21. Now, if the inning ends right here, the Dragons will have the top of the order in the bottom of the 9th. The pitch. Low ball 1, didn't miss by much. That got the Cardinal bullpen to chirping, or the Cardinal dugout to chirping a little bit. Here's the pitch. Late on a fastball, strike 1-1. Righty-righty matchup. The side-winding Rodriguez against a right-handed hitting Will Reitz. Here's the pitch. Low and in, 2-1. The Dragons, when trailing after 8 innings, are just 1-9. They're 12-0 when leading after 8. Here's 2-1. Foul ball off to the left, 2-2. Will's been susceptible up. Right now, Will just needs to keep the hands back and follow the ball right out of the hands of the pitcher. Just really simplify things. 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3, inside corner on a breaking pitch, and the tying run is stranded at third. But the Dragons get one back. A walk and a couple of wild pitches to Baxley allow a run to come across. 1 run, no hits, 1 left. We head to the 9th here in game number 1. Labette 4 and the Dragons 3. Brian Skillman on the mound for the Blue Dragons. 5'11", 175-pound freshman from Stillwater. He'll pitch the 9th. 9-1-2 in the Labette order. Hutchinson trailing 4-3. And it's strike 1 to Dante Federico, who is 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts and a walk. High chopper along first, fielded fair by Baxley. He'll take it on the hop into the bag himself, 1 away. It'll be the top of the order in the bottom of the 9th for Hutchinson. Sartori, Nedved, Schmidt, and Metzger. Brian Skillman, 1-0 with a 2.37 earned run average, on for the 7th time, 4th in relief. 19 innings pitched, 13 hits, 6 runs, 22 strikeouts, 7 walks. And it's fouled at the plate by shortstop Landon Lord, who's 0 for 3, a walk and 2 strikeouts. He also bunted into a double play. Hutch is out hit Labette 5-3. Breaking pitch, high pop, first base side, foul territory out of play. Zach Baxley gives chase but has no play on it. And the Dragons, when trailing after 8 innings, 1-9. There's a swing and a miss. Strikeout, out number 2 here in the 9th. That brings up the left fielder, Josh Praley. Praley 0 for 3. He has a sacrifice bunt and 3 strikeouts. Blue Dragon pitchers have racked up 18 strikeouts today. Their season high is 19 on April 20th at Seward County. That was in 10 innings. McDonough had 11, Buns had 1, Fenton 3, Summers 2, and now Skillman 1. Foul back, and it's 2-1 to Praley. Two one. There's a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Praley. Skillman picked up a huge no decision last Thursday at Seward County. The pitch upstairs. He got a spot start when Miguel Reyes had to get moved up to the 1 slot when Jake Buns didn't pitch. Through 6 innings, allowed 2 hits. Dragons ended up winning that game late. The pitch. High pop. Out of play to the left. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes to the batter, Josh Praley. Game 2 tomorrow at 1 o'clock. The lefty into the line to 3-2. Called strike 3. And that ties a Blue Dragon record for single game strikeouts with 19. This one done in 9 innings. The previous one also this year done in 10. But we'll worry about records later. Right now the Dragons need 1 to stay alive, 2 to win it. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Labette 4, the Dragons 3. Creighton Sylvain, freshman out of Omaha, tries to come in and close it out for the Labette Cardinals. They lead Hutchinson 2-1, bottom of the 9th, game 1. It's the top of the order for Hutchinson. Sartori, Nedved, Schmidt, and Metzger. Last time up, Logan Sartori hit his 11th home run to tie it. That tied it at 3. Sartori 2 for 3. First pitch hacking is popped up, and it'll get out of play. Dragons have out hit Labette 5-3, but 4 huge errors are sitting there. 2 of the 4 runs are unearned. That's a ball. 1-1 the count. Dragons have 5 walk-offs this year. The pitch. Foul back out of play. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Rustin Postier gives chase, as is the catcher, and it's going to land on the roof. Sartori has new life at 1-2. Sylvain 4-1 with 2 saves and a 4.30 ERA. 22nd appearance. 27 and 2/3 innings pitched, 32 hits, 17 runs, 33 strikeouts, 15 walks. The numbers on Sylvain. 1-2 the count to Sartori. The pitch. Slider misses low and away, 2-2. The last walk-off was the walk-off error against Colby in game number 3 of that series a couple of weeks ago. 2-2. Sartori hits one high to left. Praley has it measured. And he's got it one away here in the 9th. Now Nedved. 2 of the 4 errors charged to Dillon. He would love to do something to get back. He doubled in the first, then hit into a double play, walked and grounded out to second. 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. Strike called. Once the postseason starts, you simply cannot look at records and seedings. Nedved slices one foul off to the right, and he quickly is down in the count 0-2. Here's a pitch. Strike him out, 2 away. Dragons down to their final out. And it'll be Zane Schmidt. League high 20 home runs. And MVP candidate in the Jayhawk West. A big fly would tie it. Zane can do it. Pitch ball one outside. Zane's last home run was a week ago yesterday at Cloud County. He pops this one up a mile high. It's the first baseman poster making the catch, and the game is over. And for the first time in Labette history, they win a postseason game in the first round series, and the Dragons now have their backs to the wall as they lose game 1, 4-3. We'll wrap it up right after this. Well, for the second straight season, the Hutchinson Blue Dragons postseason backs are against the wall in the opening round of the Region 6 series. 1 year ago, Coffeyville dominated Hutch 6-1, but the Blue Dragons came back and won the next two games to move on to Wichita and finish third in the region. Today, it's the same deal. Labette, for the first time in its baseball history since 2004, wins a postseason game, defeating Hutchinson 4-3. Now the Blue Dragons will have to win 2 tomorrow. The top seeds are against the wall. Here are the final totals for this one. For Labette, 4 runs on, 3 hits, no errors, 7 left on. For the Blue Dragons, 3 runs, 5 hits, 4 errors, 9 left on base. The winning pitcher, Graham Jordan, he improves to 2-5. Cade Fenton takes the loss for Hutchinson. He's 1-2. And Creighton Sylvain picks up his 3rd save of the season in a game that took 2 hours and 41 minutes to play. So the Dragons are going to have to come back and win a pair of 9-inning games tomorrow. They've done it before. In fact, just did it a year ago. The Dragons are definitely up against the wall, and all of a sudden their high-powered offense has slumbered over the last 5 games. It's been a bit of a struggle. They scored 7, 6, 3, and 2 against Cloud, so really over the last 3. But even Epic Concordia, it took a while for the Dragon offense to get going. So the Dragons up against the wall in this one. As they look to advance, they are the top seed in the region. I'm sure this score is going to send shockwaves all over Region 6. The Dragons take the loss 4-3. Labette took a 1-0 lead on a wild pitch by L.J. McDonough. Not allowed a runner to score. He walked. Riley Metzger tied it up with a leadoff home run in the 4th to dead center field. Then in the 6th, it was a 2-base throwing error by Dylan Nedved. A wild pitch moved him up a 3rd, and then a seeing-eye single by the designated hitter, Evan Jacoby, just past the outstretched glove of second baseman Ryan Moritz. That gave Hutch a 2-1 deficit. In the bottom of the 7th, Logan Sartori hit his 11th home run of the year. That tied it up at 2. But then again, with 2 outs, it was first baseman Rustin Posterior who had struck out his first 3 times at bat in the afternoon, and Ryan Summers left a belt-high fastball right over the middle. He dumped it into right center field. 2 runs scored. Dragons got 1 back in the bottom of the 8th when Zach Baxley walked, moved over to 3rd on a sacrifice bunt and a wild pitch, then scored on a wild pitch. That made it 4-3. But the Dragons go in order in the 9th, and Hutchinson loses at 4-3. Hutchinson out hits Labette 5-3. But when you consider 4 errors to go with 3 walks and a couple of wild pitches, that was just too much free to give up. The Blue Dragon pitching staff did tie a single game record with 19 strikeouts today against the Cardinals, but that's of little solace to the Dragons now, as they're going to have to win 2 tomorrow to advance their season. And we'll be with you tomorrow at 12:45, and we'll hopefully hear with you for a long afternoon of Blue Dragon baseball. Again, Hutchinson drops the opener 4-3 to Labette. They'll try to save their season tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'd love to see a huge crowd down here. We know a bunch of people are in town for graduation. Enjoy that tonight at the sports arena, but then come on down to Hobart-Detter Field tomorrow and help the Dragons rally from a 1-0 series deficit and get to Wichita. We will talk to you again at 12:45 tomorrow. On behalf of Samantha Carpenter, my daughter, and Karen Carpenter, my granddaughter, thanks for joining us. Hutchinson loses at 4-3. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon at 12:45. Until then, Steve Carpenter, so long, everybody.